Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Today we're doing a delicious restaurant quality, I'm not exaggerating, clam chowder. It happens to be keto friendly, but nobody is going to know unless you tell them. This comes out as good or better than anything you've ever had. So I'm cooking for a big stock pot right there. You guys know if I'm cooking, I'm gonna cook. Feel free to cut it in half or quarters, or you can freeze it, or you can feed a huge family or whatever, but this makes gallons worth. So what we have, I'll put everything down in the description. Whole baby clams, we're gonna drain these cans. We got 1 pack of thyme. If you've got a jar of it, that's fine too. We've got a bunch of clam juice, 1 container of chicken bone broth, 1 package of celery hearts, 2 big heads of cauliflower. This is gonna take the place of the potatoes. 2 thick cut packs of bacon. You can use regular, that's fine too. It's just a little more prep. The important thing is to get slices with a lot of meat, not so much the fat. We're not after the grease for this recipe. Got 4 packs of cream cheese. This is gonna really help thicken it up. And you can use guar gum later on if you'd like it really extra thick, but this comes out perfect and I'm gonna be reducing it to the perfect thickness. Stick of butter, some black pepper. We're not gonna need any extra salt. There's enough in the bacon and the broth that makes it come out perfect. I've been perfecting this recipe. We've got a big quart of heavy whipping cream, also helps with the texture and the thickening. Some minced garlic, 4 white onions. Let's get to cooking. First step is to dice up your onions. Get those out of the way, then dice up your bacon. We're gonna get a pan nice and hot, and we're gonna crisp the bacon. If you see big chunks of just fat, just toss those. We just want as much meat in here as possible. Then we're gonna take the meat out of the grease. So let the bacon drain. And then put your onions right into the grease. Cook them down on medium-low until they're just nice and soft. They get some of that bacon flavor. Onions are just about done. They got a little bit of golden color and they're getting nice and soft. So in the stock pot, first goes a container of broth. Let your onions drain for a few minutes. Get rid of that extra grease. And then into the pot. Chop up your celery as thick as you like. Put that in. And the garlic. And the stick of butter. So for the cauliflower, you want to wash it, break it off from the center core, and then we're going to just kind of crumble it into small bite-sized pieces, about half a teaspoon. It will break apart into the soup. Just get it into little bite-sized chunks like this. And that's perfect. It will taste exactly like potatoes. Last but not least, the pepper. And we're just gonna let this go with a real good simmer. Let it go for a good hour. We want the liquid to start reducing. All the veggies are gonna cook and they're gonna get super soft. We want the onions to disappear. The celery is gonna shrink and give off almost all of its moisture. And the cauliflower will just take on a cooked potato texture. Stir it every 15 minutes or so just to make sure nothing's burning on the bottom. 45 minutes later, our veggies are nice and tender. I just test with the celery, and if it can be squished apart with a spoon, you're good to go. Now, we need to incorporate the cream cheese. Now, if you just put it in and mix it or whisk it, you're going to obliterate all the veggies. So what I do is take a couple ladle spoons and put it into a separate bowl, and then whisk that in, kind of like tempering. And then put everything back in. While you're incorporating your cream cheese, put in all your clam juice. Don't forget to shake up the bottles first. Bring that up to a nice boil over medium heat. And in goes our cream cheese mixture. And the first look at the true color of our chowder. Next in goes the thyme. In go all the clams, drained, and the bacon. Last but not least, the heavy cream. Looking good, looking good. It's gonna be smelling good real soon. So bring it up to temp. You just want a real good simmer. Stick it on low, cover it, come back in about 3 hours. You can stir it every half an hour or so. 3 hours later, and we are ready. Now, this is how I like it. This is just a traditional soupy chowder. If you want it thicker, you got a couple options. You can leave the cover off, simmer it for another half an hour or so and thicken it up, or if you want to preserve the volume, Whisk in a teaspoon or two at the most of guar gum. It works like cornstarch and it'll thicken it right up. And there we go, packed full of goodness, tons of flavor, absolutely delicious. No one will know this is keto friendly, super low carbs, absolutely delicious soup. See you guys next time.